Yo, yo, yo. I'm not sure. Can y'all hear me? Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, y'all? The day after. The day after. Appreciate the donation, Greg. Yeah, it don't feel real, y'all. It don't feel real. I was talking to my boys and we was talking about I was telling them it felt like losing your girlfriend when your girlfriend broke up with you. Like somebody you really like broke up with you. Yeah, it's gonna be like that too. This one hurts. Honestly, I would have rather got blown out than lose like that. Can y'all hear me okay? Honestly, and after I got to calm down and just think about the game, there was appreciate this $2 super chat. Rip says looking forward to the future after Harbaugh. I mean, at this point, it is what it is. Yeah, yeah. The way we lost, like being up 16, it was just devastating. Like when we got up 16, I know all of us were like, okay, or maybe I can calm down. They gonna get a stop. We get one more touchdown or even a field goal. Like, all right, this game. And then you up 16, they have to get two-point conversions, and they let them get them both. But the honestly, besides the JJ play, the the blame can go all around. Like you can blame Mike McDonald. You can blame Mike McDonald for not committing more guys to the run. What was the fourth down play where we we were in a power pro form set on fourth down and we got it, but they called false start because the tight end flinched, and then we tried to punt and he bobbled it. So those mental cues, Mike McDonald didn't have them, was constantly trying to switch guys in and out, which in turn made it from the rest of the season, him switching guys in and out, that's going to be a problem because nobody's going to let us get away with it now. So he has to figure that out. And there's no reason that you need to switch guys out as much as we do it. We do it like every play. He's running a D lineman in or out. Like you don't have to do it that much. So Cornelius dropped two crucial passes when we were trying to get that last drive going. And with him doing that, I'm not sure why you ran the fourth down play for him. He just even if he didn't get held, he probably would have dropped it. He just dropped two crucial passes before then. So I wouldn't even have ran that play for him. Besides the hold, like he got pass interference, but I wouldn't even have ran that play. Now I could go. You could say Cade on that fourth down play where the Cornelius play when he got held. Sanders still was on a short little out route. He was wide open. But he already threw the ball to try to throw it to Cornelius on the pick on the game sealing interception. Cade had a guy running across, he had Corum running a little drag route, was wide open, could have checked it down. He probably would have got 10 yards. He had a blocker. So there's a lot. The blame can go all around. Just yesterday, that JJ play, it sent me over the top because it was like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's Yeah, it was you say Andrew Anthony should be new number one. I mean, after a game like that, he's got to be a focal point of the offense. There's no reason not to. He showed you that he's a big time player. And let's see, what did you have? Uh RJ Moden, the pick that he could have had, he dropped it on I'm not sure. I think this was their drive that put them up. He could have picked that. He dropped it. So there's a ton of blame to go around, but it's just like, bro, you're up 16. Like you got to get this done. Like ain't no excuse for losing this game. Nate Does says, do you think we're out of the playoff talk? If so, what do we need to do to prove that the playoff committee can say Michigan has won, lost to Michigan State? I mean, now we're in a horrible situation, and this is why you can't lose in college, because it puts you in a bind because of the conferences. So one, we need either Michigan State to beat Ohio State. We really have to hope Michigan State kind of wins out, because that makes us look better, and then we have to win out. If we win out, we got a great chance of making it. But it's you got to go through Penn State, you got to go through Ohio State, of course. So if we win out, we probably can get in, because as long as Michigan State is still not just losing every game, which they're not going to, then our loss looks good. Like right now, there's a lot of teams with good losses, good one-loss teams. So for us to make the playoff, we need Michigan State to look we need them to almost go undefeated. Just being real, to make our one loss look the best. I mean, we played a. They say I didn't give Walker enough credit. I try to tell people this isn't it's not a Homer Michigan page. I do an analysis and real talk about the game. And when we lose, like my pregame analysis, I'll give the opponent credit. But when I don't talk about them that much. I talk about what we did wrong. I'll give them their credit, and then I'm moving on. This ain't they fan page, so I'm not gonna sit on here and Walker was unbelievable. I told you he was the best back. I'm not gonna do all that. Yeah, even if Penn State and OSU beat MSU, we still have to beat, or we still have to win out. So it don't really change that much for us. We have to keep winning. We just have to win every game. So we have to beat OSU like always. Like to reach our real goals for the season, we have to beat Ohio State and Penn State. Like we have to beat these teams. So nothing really changes. The real, come on, bro. I know we just lost, but we're not trash. If you watched us yesterday and thought this team is trash, then your expectations is they through the roof. That's like this was a rivalry game, and them boys was laying haymakers on each other. So let's you got to give Michigan State some credit and give Michigan credit too. Like UNC, bro, I should block you out. I should block you out of here. How did Nebraska and Indiana limit Walker, but we could not? Now that's a good question. I would say they committed more guys to the run. See, we had two safeties back a lot of the times. We didn't really try to commit to stopping him. Like, you're gonna have to give up something, and we wanted to not give up the big pass, so we had two safeties deep when we probably should have committed one of those guys to help in the run. Yeah, Mal, we need the MSU to lose 2, or we need to win out and beat MSU bad. OSU bad. We got to win out for us to reach our goals. Oh my God, Brady. Brady is a beast, wide open. I'm watching the Bucks game. My bad. Yeah, Brady is a beast. But our goals don't change. That's the thing. Our goals don't change. We expected. This is what most of us expected. And I don't like to say we just gonna lose the OSU, because with coaching in the right scheme, and you can slow any team down. I don't care who it is. You just have to know, you have to put in the work in the film room and figure out what bothers them, and then hopefully you got the dudes that can follow through and execute that game plan. So our most people thought, okay, we might make it to OSU undefeated. Then if we play them tight, we can still get in the playoff. So what changes is, okay, we lost to Michigan State. Now it's just, we got to beat Ohio State, Penn State too. We have to beat them. So it's just, that's just what it is. So we have to get that done. Vince Anillia says, Savinelli says, bro, first of all, love your videos, love the passion and the realism. Where do we go from here? I'm sick of saying next year will be our year. I'm sick of it too, bro. Like, I'm very sick of saying next year, and because once you lose twice, your season over, because we have Big Ten championship dreams and all that. We're on the east side of the Big Ten. You can't lose 2 games because Ohio State's not going to lose 2 games. So they're gonna have to. It is what it is. They're gonna have to figure out a way to slow down Ohio State. But this is the thing, and this is the thing. This year we've seen Minnesota play them tight by running the ball, not making mistakes. We saw Oregon beat them, running the ball, getting pressure, dropping a lot of dudes in the coverage. We saw Penn State slow them down. It can be done, bro. You just have to execute. It can be done. You have to execute though, and have a game plan and hold them to field goals, because they're gonna move the ball. You're gonna move the ball. You just got to hold them to field goal, and that gives you a chance. Like what Michigan State did to us, holding us to field goals, giving themselves time. Okay, we still in the game. They keep kicking field goals. We still in the game. Field goals get you beat. I can't say it enough. Mal says Corum got bodied yesterday. Corum didn't play that well yesterday. He dropped that pass, the JJ exchange. Now, with the JJ exchange, okay, let's say if Cade was in the tent, which is what they're saying, I still blame JJ, because somebody was saying, oh, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't a read. But the reason I blame JJ is because as a running back, as a quarterback and a running back, okay, the quarterback, if it's not a read, then you just stick it in his gut and get your hand out of there. I watched the Fox replay of it. They did the slow motion, and JJ puts it in there, but he's pulling it. He didn't just put it in there and let it go. He still was holding on to it, and he slightly pulled it like halfway out. So that's a problem. You either give it to him or you don't, especially if it's not a read. Exactly, Jay Marion. He tried to pull that ball back out. Like he waited till the last second to let it go. And you can't do that. That's what I was trying to explain to somebody earlier. On the basketball season, I'm not on the basketball yet. The reason I love college football is the exact reason. Like yesterday, we can't lose a game. It's so much pressure to not lose. So college basketball, I almost don't even pay attention to it until the tournament, because if you got a good team, you're going to get in the tournament, and then that's when it really matters. You know what I'm saying? But college football, it's like you can't lose. Like, if you lose, your season is like, okay. And then don't have a team like Ohio State in your conference. Now it's like, oh my God, we can't lose, because they good every year. Nathaniel Caden says got out coach. You could say that. You could definitely say that. On the 2-point conversions, I probably wouldn't have. I would have blitzed him. I would have blitzed on those 2-point conversions. You're on the 2. I don't want to give him time to move around. I don't think we blitzed. I'd have to look and see if we did, but I don't think we blitzed on the 2-point conversions. He had a little bit too much time back there to me. Sam I am says JJ is another prep school hype. Let's hope he's not, bro. Let's hope he's not. And I mean, JJ did. What'd you say? 760-pound squat says JJ holds the ball like a loaf of bread when he runs. This won't be the. You're right. I've noticed that in other games. This offseason, regardless of the rest of this year, not to say I'm not paying attention to it, JJ has to hit the weight room. That's his number one focus this offseason should be adding about 15 pounds, if not 20. Like JJ is frail. He needs to hit the weight room hard this offseason because he's gonna want to run and do stuff that's going. You need to have that extra weight to take the punishment. Creighton said JJ gonna be good. Put him in for good. I don't think he's ready yet, bro. Ball security. As any coach, ball security is the most important thing. And he just showed you yesterday, like he can be careless with it. And this isn't even so. And this is saying that quarterbacks don't get hit in practice. So him being careless, they probably already know he's somewhat careless with it sometimes. So him being in the game, you seeing it. Like, exactly. Frederick Jackson says ball security is job security. That's a fact. The quarterback has to be secure with the ball, whether his decision making, running with it, all of it. He has to. And I'm not saying JJ is bad or anything. It's just that's a problem. Like our schedule, we got Penn State we got Penn State in a week. After we play Indiana, we got Penn State. And I don't know if any of y'all watched Penn State. Them boys ain't playing on defense yesterday. Them boys wasn't playing. I was like, man, them dudes was playing some physical ball. I was impressed. I didn't watch the whole game, but Penn State from that first quarter and what I watched, I was like, them boys is playing physical. The Warrior Wall says, what about them refs? I mean, we can let's see. Aiden gets held constantly. He should have 2-3 holding calls every game easily. Let's see. The touchdown, Ojabo strip sack, fumble, there wasn't enough to overturn it because this is my thing on that. If you're getting sacked and the ball is slipping down here and you're barely holding, you've already lost control. You don't have possession of that ball. It's just there. Like you don't have possession. So that's a fumble. Like even the announcers, they have their own official guy. He was saying that's a fumble. It's not enough to overturn it. And that was a big play. Now, okay, Michigan State, the Reed scoop it off the ground catch. If the ball hits the ground and a big divot of grass comes up, he didn't catch that clean. The ball can't assist you like that. Like that, the ball assisted him on that catch. Like I have no doubt on my mind. The pass interference. There was another pass interference against AJ Henning that they didn't call in the end zone. They didn't call that one. The Cornelius Johnson pass interference. They didn't call that one. That one was just obvious. Like he had like, bro, you got to make these calls. Like, but even saying that, we still had chances to win. So, but we were definitely playing the refs. Appreciate it, Sam. I am. Fred Jackson says they shouldn't have came to the running game. We should have put up so many points yesterday. We could have took Michigan State out. That's a fact. Like we just didn't get enough. It's the red zone, and they're gonna have to figure out how to get touchdowns in the red zone. It just is what it is. Like you saw against a good team what our real weaknesses are. The alignment, switching guys in and out every play on the D line. You can't do that. It's everybody's taking notice, and just like Don Brown in the man defense, now they know you're substituting every play, so they're not switching dudes out and they catching us. You can't do it no more. Red zone defense, you have to figure out. I mean, red zone offense, you have to figure out how to get in the end zone through the pass. Good teams, and this is why in my pregame video I was like, good teams, we might not be able to run on them, and we didn't really run well on them. So good teams, you have to be able to pass it and also pass in the end zone. Like they're scared to let Cade throw it in the end zone. So what that tells me is in practice, he has to be horrible from the 15 on in, making precise, good decisions like he does on the rest of the field. He has to be just horrible at it because they really don't want to try it. And they messed up earlier in the season not trying it. Okay, it's a frame. What they're saying on that punt, the garbage fake punt, which I thought it was a fake punt at first. It wasn't a fake punt. He just bobbled it, and he didn't think he could get the punt off, so he just tried to run and get the yards. That's what they're saying. Exactly. Area of Ferber. That's something that I forgot to talk about. On the 3rd and 1, why we hurry up without the right personnel? You got my man Henning trying to block a man. That's a fact. One, Blake Corum isn't a good short yardage back. He's too little. 2, we're not a hurry up team. We don't run hurry up. So we don't do it in the game that much. We do it like maybe in a 2-minute drill or something. So just take your time. Now, if you would have QB sneaked it, I would have been down with that. But 3rd and 1, just bring Hassan in, your bell cow, who falls for 2 yards, and let him get the first down. Don't hurry up. If you're gonna hurry up, run a QB sneak. If not, get your bell cow in the game. Just take your time. Ain't no need to rush. Like there was no need to rush that play, and it cost us trying to do what they do. We don't do that hurry up and just run a play. Like, if it ain't a QB sneak, you get your right personnel in there. See, they can do that because Kenneth Walker he's their number 1 complete back. He does everything for them most of the time. We don't have that. Well, we have that, but we switch them in and out. So bring Hassan back in because that we haven't ran it well, and Blake's not big like that. So bring in your bell cow. It's just simple. Lucas says our linebackers suck. Josh Ross is a hard worker, but he's too slow. Yeah, in the run game, I didn't see him reading and reacting enough. Like I really didn't see him reading and reacting. And honestly, McDonald should have started run blitzing. He should have started run blitzing for them. It just and let me give this dude credit but I did in the pregame analysis. Dude is nasty. Dude was doing some moves in the backfield, and they were nasty. So I'm not going to just say like they were just missing tackles. Some of that stuff dude was doing that's NFL stuff. Like dude was doing like I'm in college right now, but I'll be on Sundays next year. Like he was doing some nasty stuff. See, this is the thing that's surprising is, honestly, I think our offensive line is better at pass blocking than run blocking. For all those yards, and this may be just because we run up the middle half the time and we don't try to hit the edges, but our pass blocking is damn good. Like it's good. Like for that's all I can say is our pass blocking, pass protection, it's good for the most part. Like you don't see dudes just coming free like that. And if they do, it's something that wasn't seen, like a late corner blitz or a corner coming from way outside, so nobody picks him up. But as far as guys seeing who they need to get and picking up protection like that, it's pretty good. Like pass blocking good because Cade bought them dinner. That's what he's supposed to do. Yeah, like the O line is good. It's that pass blocking. It's just bad. The only thing where it knocks us is we want to be a running team. But if we really, honestly, if we really wanted to go to like a West Coast offense, it would probably work well. And West Coast offense is short passing and using the running back a lot out of the backfield. And I think we do use that a lot in like third and shorts with Corum and stuff. If he catches the ball, he dropped that pass early. Michael Riviera says the little brother mantra needs to end. It always gives MSU that little extra juice. I mean, it ain't going nowhere, bro. It's always been like that. So even if we don't say it, somebody's gonna put it on social media. Remember this, little brother, like because that's what they're known as. So it's like it's not gonna go nowhere, and that's what people think. Like I grew up in Michigan, so Michigan was always the bigger, better college. You know what I'm saying? Michigan State it's a big school, but they're not as prestigious. They don't have the history in football like Michigan does. And well, they got a basketball, pretty good history in basketball, but football was always Michigan. Michigan State was the party school, and Michigan was the prestigious, Heisman winner schools, and this long college football history. So that's that. The little brother stuff is just kind of set in stone. It's gonna come up every year. Let's see. Issa Fran says Aiden and Ojabo are the only ones on the defense who put in the work and compete against OSU and maybe Dax. Everyone else is garbage. I mean, I hated it for them boys because they played a hell of a game. I think they both had like 2 sacks. Like as a D lineman, that's a good game. That's a great game. 2 sacks. Ojabo's had 2 forced fumbles. Like that's a great game. Aiden had 2 sacks. I think he had one. One got he got a hold. He got held till they took the holding, but he had 2 sacks. Either way, the holding is basically a sack, 10, 15 yards. But them dudes balled out. So, yeah, RJ Moten had that big pick when the game first started, but he dropped a pick that probably could have sealed it for us. After I think that was after JJ fumbled or the mistake on the handoff. Nathaniel Creighton says, "Hell no, we won't beat Ohio State. Take the rest of the season and play your future players." I mean, most of them are playing except for JJ, and JJ's playing. I mean, I guess you want JJ to start from here on out. Come on, Brady. Oh, Brady done lost it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you want JJ to start? No, you can't just throw the rest of the season away, bro. That's not you can't just throw the rest of the season away and all right, Hassan, you don't get to play no more and stuff like that. That's just not how you do things, bro. You say we're not going far with Cade. I mean, are you saying for next year? I mean, I don't think any of us think Cade is gonna start next year. But you don't want to just throw JJ out there if he's not all the way ready, bro. It can go good or it can go bad. If a quarterback isn't ready all the way, And I honestly, this is me being just honest by looking at him. I don't think his body is ready to start. He's just a frail looking dude. Like uh JJ looks frail to me. I don't think his body is ready for him to be a starting college quarterback. Cade's body is barely Cade is barely ready. Like when you get in there and you getting hit while throwing, so you can't protect yourself and somebody lay you out. JJ look like he gonna break something. I get it, bro, but JJ's not leaving. Like he's not leaving. He knows he's the heir apparent, bro. Like this dude has been waiting and ready to go to play at Michigan for like two years now. Like he's not leaving. He knows it's his job next year. Like he knows this. So he's not leaving. Like this dude is one of our best recruiters. Like he's not just gonna leave, bro. He knows this is it. And do you really think he wants to leave after that game? Because regardless, he feels like I helped us lose this game, and I only played like 5 snaps. Like that, like somebody like I know JJ has to feel horrible today. Yeah, bro. I don't think you're giving Cade enough credit for what he did yesterday. And I feel you. He didn't make the play at the end. I ain't got nothing to say. You're right. Yeah, JJ's not transferring, bro. He's Michigan. He's all Michigan right now. Will McCullough says Nebraska and Indiana kept Walker under 100 yards and no TDs. Apparently, our coaches didn't check that out. That game film. You. That's got to be facts. That's got to be facts that they didn't check it because obviously they didn't. But they definitely should have. It definitely should have been done. Like with with JJ and Cade, if JJ is what he's supposed to be, and everybody says he is, off season in the same system. Let's say if Gaddis doesn't get fired or whatever, which I don't think he will, because he's been pretty good, not great, but another year in the system. If JJ is what he's supposed to be, he's gonna start over Cade next year because he's gonna give us what Cade does. Plus, he's gonna give us the deep ball. Plus, he's gonna give us his legs. So if he's what he's supposed to be, he's gonna start over Cade next year. Now, if he doesn't, then that just says he ain't as good as we thought. Nathaniel Creighton says, "Where's number one been all year?" Now that's a valid question. All I can say is maybe he didn't with younger players, and this is just me speculating. Now, this ain't a fact. With younger players, sometimes they have trouble picking up the system. So that could be it, but it could be just they were scared to put him out there. You never know sometimes with these coaches. So Area Ferber says, I just got one thing to say. Cade is way better than Milton. Now that's a fact. Because Joe, I don't know what's happening with Joe, but Joe just fell off a cliff all the way. Nathaniel Caden says Michigan don't play their best players. Now you might have a history of saying that somewhat that Michigan doesn't. They go with seniority, which is it's not good to do, especially in college. Sometimes you just get a player that They know how to play the game. Like, and then with that, sometimes it's bigger, faster, stronger. Like, like sometimes it's just some these you get a young player and he just knows how to play better. He's bigger, faster, stronger than that dude that's been on campus for 3 years. So I'll give you that for real. Yeah. Like sometimes we don't play the best players. And that's a problem. Conservative play calling. Conservative play calling did kill us. Like you have to be able to big games against good teams, you have to be able to scheme up touchdowns. It's not about kicking field goals. Harbaugh is too happy to kick a field goal. That's his problem. That's one of his biggest problems. He's got and this year he has a good field goal kicker, so he's too happy to kick it. Like, okay, we're in field goal range. I don't want to risk too much. I don't want to get knocked out of field goal range. I'm just gonna play it conservative so I can make sure to get this 3 points. When you should be scheming up plays to get in the end zone, and it gets you beat. You kicking field goals, yeah. You move the ball, got into field goal range. Then you get conservative with your runs up the middle, and you get beat. Field goals kept us up in that game, but it kept Michigan State in the game. Craig Brown says, "I'm afraid that we will only beat OSU when it won't matter for anything. We will have multiple losses and be out of the Big Ten race, and that will be the season we beat them." The way they built right now, bro, I don't know if even one of those years if we'll beat them. To beat them, right? To beat for us to beat them because them playing somebody else, they could sneak up on them, but we can't sneak up on Ohio State. We can't sneak up on them. To even to beat them or come close, we're gonna need somebody that's a freak of nature, kind of athletically and just gifted at quarterback. We're gonna need that. The last time we beat them, we had Denard and Devin Gardner. Devin Gardner almost beat him in what was that 2007? I don't know what year it was, but Devin Gardner, we beat him with Denard when Fickle was the interim coach, and then we got close with Devin Gardner. And people always talk about this dude, but that was a beast type of dude. Like, okay, I can throw for 400 yards and give you 50 more on the ground. Like beast type dude. Like I can put up with them. We went for two when we should have just kicked the field goal and went to overtime, and we didn't get the 2-point conversion. But the way they're built now, you're gonna need a dude like that. Like I can run, I can throw for 400, I can run for 100 and throw for 300. Like you're gonna need a dude that he might not play like that every game, but he's got the possibility of playing like that. Because they a football factory now. They a factory. They just inserting dudes. Like they're gonna have to, for them to drop to a level that we can just sneak up on them, they're gonna have to lose a coach or something. And hire a coach that don't know what he's doing. Like their program would have to be in turmoil. Besides that, we're not gonna sneak up or win on them. Like we're gonna have to have a freak of nature dude. Hopefully that's JJ. That's why everybody loves JJ. They think it's him. Yeah, Gardner just came at the wrong time. See, Gardner was a Rich Rod recruit. And then Brady Hoke came and he didn't want to leave Michigan. So he was the top spread quarterback. I think he was like the number one spread quarterback coming out of high school. And then Brady Hoke came and then he changed the system to pro style. And you know, yeah. Rashad Walker, yeah, he should have went for the jugular. You're right about that. He's just too happy to kick field goals. Young consumer, are you saying that you think we're gonna lose to Penn State this year? Mal says Josh Gaddis gotta go. What's the record for the last 4 games? I don't know. I don't know. I would if I go by my season prediction, they done already won what I expected for them to win earlier in the season. I think I had a floor of 7 and something, but I said they might actually click and they could be like what was it 11-2 or something like that or something. So Nicholas Abuzara says, "What's up, Johnny? How you doing after that loss against State?" I feel like my girlfriend just broke up with me. That's how I feel. I feel horrible, bro. And it's something that can't be consoled because we're gonna have to see the clips of that game year after year after year after year after year after year. Like we're gonna have to see the clips of that game every year. I mean, Michigan State can get transfers because he wanted to get transfers, and it's not as hard to get into Michigan State as it is Michigan. So they can take on more players than we can because you have to be different. It's a different academic standard at Michigan. I've been Omar Harrell says, Johnny, do you see how he used Haskins and Corum backwards? He runs Corum up the middle and Haskins to the sideline. I've been preaching about that all year, bro. Like Haskins is the bell cow. You use him between the tackles. That's what he does. Corum, you want to run him off tackle. You want him to try to get to the edge. Like you need him to get to the edge to use his advantage, which is speed. And you use him in the pass game. But I do not like running him between the tackles. He's just not big enough. Well, if academics don't play, then that's just another excuse. Then knock that excuse out. Somebody said Rashawn Gary is basically illiterate. Let's see. How would I feel if we went 11-2? I mean, that's a good season, but it's gonna go back to we had a 16-point lead against Michigan State. It's gonna go back to that because if we were undefeated, the goal is to be undefeated going in Ohio State because you expect them to be undefeated or one loss and then try to play them close and you'll still maybe make the playoff because, okay, you lost to Ohio State and they're in the top 4 or 5 or whatever. So you get credit for hanging with them, even if you lose. So yeah, I mean, it'd be a good year, but after that start, it would still be somewhat disappointing. Nicholas Abuzaro says Jim Harbaugh kind of reminds me of that one basketball coach, the one that coached in Phoenix and Houston. You talking about Mike D'Antoni? He was great in the regular season, but crap in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh yesterday was a big. It really made him look bad because you were up 16. Like it'd be different if we just got our doors blown off or whatever, or it was just close. The game was close the whole game, but it wasn't. We were up 16, and for a team to come back from 16 in 2 drives, meaning they scored a touchdown and then got a 2-point conversion, stopped you, scored another touchdown, got another 2-point conversion. Like that's a lot to for them to complete. That's a lot. So just think if we stop one of those 2-point, if we stop one of those 2-point conversions, then the game changes. And let's say they still score what they did, then we just need a field goal to win because they'd only be up 2. So it was just big the way they let them get both of those 2-point conversions. It was just like, come on, bro. Dax Hill got exposed. I mean, he's not a lockdown corner. He's been beat. He's been beat multiple times this year. But yeah. I mean, Mel Tucker's got some cojones, bro. To throw that pass, to call that play and call that pass play in 4th and 1 with a Heisman candidate in the backfield. You got some cojones and you got some trust and belief in your players. So I can't do nothing but give him credit for that. It's a from Dax isn't even a corner. And that's probably why he gets beat sometimes like that. Rashad Walker says, yeah, I'm not putting this on the refs. This is clearly on the defense folding down the stretch. McDonald not making adjustments to get his personnel on and off the field. Like I'm somewhat torn between the defense. Like I'm holding them accountable, of course, because they gave up a lot of points in big plays, and that's what they needed to stop was the big plays. But your defense, this is just how I feel about it. This ain't set in stone, or this ain't what it is, and nothing. So you don't have to. It's just my opinion. Like the defense has held us down all year. All year, the defense has held us down, whether it was against Rutgers when we were struggling, or Washington, Nebraska. They made the stops when they had to. Even this game, we got the ball back. We had the ball twice to go up, and we couldn't. So, like, as bad as the defense was, they still got Cade in the offense. Cade, Harbaugh, and Gaddis the ball back with a chance to win it. You're not gonna shut everybody out, and you don't want to play like that. But the defense has held us down all year. Like, okay, Cade, Gaddis, win this game, bro. Win this game. And Cade got greedy on that throw. He got greedy. He had to check down running. Corum was running right across his face with nobody around him, plus a blocker. And he just decided to throw it to that tight end. But if you want to blame the defense, I ain't going to knock you. They gave up 200 yards on the ground. But I just look at it like, okay, defense had a bad game, pick them up. And they got the stop, got you the ball back with a minute something left. But I mean, the blame goes all the way around because the more I think about it, I just think of so many mistakes from the coaches, players, offense, defense. But if you would just want to blame the defense, I ain't gonna knock you. Hey, I ain't gonna knock you, bro. Dude, it is what it is. Well, I mean, I ain't got nothing to say, bro. That's just how I think of it. That's just my thought process on it. Jay Marion says, I wish the offense would go hurry up more often. Me too, because I don't know what game that was. I think it was Nebraska. When we go hurry up, we it does work. When we run our 2-minute drill and we go hurry up, it works. It does play out well for us most of the time. Yeah, Gary, that's a big point, and they have to learn that. Gary says you have to call timeout if you see your defense doesn't have time to get lined up. That's on the coaches, and that happened twice where they scored. Yeah, that's a fact. If you see you're because the play is too big. When you're not lined up, bad things happen. So it's too big of a play. Like call timeout. You right. They should have called timeout on those plays. It's just too big for you. Like you have to waste that timeout, and that's not wasting it. Like I needed to call timeout. That ain't wasting it. Yeah, Benjamin Diaz says, honestly, how much more we wanted from Cade? He played great. You feel me? And I'm not knocking Cade, bro. I just critique the game, so I'll just call what I see. So, and this was my problem, and I guess this was Cade was hurt or whatever, but Cade had to make up for JJ's mistake. Cade had he had to make up for something he didn't cause. Like he didn't cause that fumble, and like when we just got the momentum, stopped their momentum by stopping them, getting the ball back up 3. We almost in their territory. The first play, JJ gives it back. Now Cade, and then the defense gives up a touchdown. Now we down 33-37, and Cade has to get us back to where we need to be. So I ain't knocking him, bro. I just, you know, he had the chance. And I mean, if you watch the press conference, he knows he had the chance. Like, yeah, JJ put you in that situation in the defense, but you still had the ball twice with a chance to win the game. So Sam I am says, bro, they gave up 5 Russian TDs. They did. I'm not, bro. Yeah, that JJ play did it for me though. Like honestly, it did. And I was really mad because I thought they just put him in on that switching him out stuff. They say Cade was in the tent, and I hate college football because the coaches don't have to tell you anything about injuries. They just say, "Oh, he was working through something." Nah, bro, what was wrong with him? I need to know. We need to know what was wrong with him, why he wasn't on the field. Was it his ribs? Was it a concussion? Was it his arm? Was it his leg? We need to know what was wrong with him. And what was crazy is normally when somebody goes in the tent, especially the starting quarterback, the broadcast will tell you, "Oh, we just saw Cade McNamara go in the tent. We'll see if he's working through something or what it is." They didn't say anything about it, and we were on defense, so they had plenty of time to talk about it. Like, so it just don't make sense to me because I've almost never watched a game on TV and the starting quarterback who is playing lights out goes into the tent and they don't say anything about it. I've never seen that happen. Like I've never seen it happen. They don't say anything about him going in the tent. So that's what had me puzzled. Yeah, D Brown says JJ fumbled. I just walked out the room. I knew it was over. I felt the same way, bro. Because I look at players. I look at like the team on the sideline and I look how players react to stuff. And when that happened, Michigan State sideline went through the roof like they knew they were about to win this game. Them dudes, if you rewatch that game and after JJ fumbled, Michigan State sideline is they're through the roof like they know they about to win. It reminds me, and it reminds me of Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson in the Western Conference Finals. This is basketball. Western Conference Finals against Oklahoma City. He got in foul trouble, and he goes to the bench mad, throws down his towel, and just looks like, I'm about to murder these dudes when I get out there. Second half, he murdered OKC, and I was an OKC fan. That's why I remember this. Like, so when JJ fumbled and Michigan State sideline went like that, I was like, we in trouble. And they went right down and scored. And not only that, though, it demoralizes your defense because the defense just got the ball back, almost had a strip sack fumble. Michigan State got it back. We punted the ball. A.J. Henning gives you a great return, and then J.J. fumbles on the first play. You think your defense ain't like, come on, bro? Like, you see we barely holding on to this dude. Like, come on. So, yeah. Yeah, A.J. Henning was making some dumb – he was making some dumb mistakes, but on that play before the fumble, he dropped it. He dropped the punt and then picked it up and got like 20 yards. I was like, okay, way to make up for it. But I'm starting to see why you don't get to play that much at wide receiver because you got a little bonehead in you. Complete Thought says JJ's first fumble is the worst I've ever seen. He let go of the ball to protect himself as he fell. He's frail, bro. He's and when he fumbled that's why I was like, if I'm the coach, he doesn't play again unless somebody gets hurt. So that's if Cade was in the tent, then it's understandable. Like he's your backup quarterback. But I just don't understand why he was trying to pull that ball out. Like, bro, if it's a called handoff, you stick it in his gut and let it go. Like, what are you pulling it for? Like, what do you have pulling it for? Like, I don't understand that. Yeah, he held on to the ball. That's what I was trying to explain to somebody earlier. Like, JJ, that was his fault. Like, if you're handing it off, let go of the ball. Why are you pulling it and then letting it go? Like, bro, you're creating confusion. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know what he was doing there. Omar Harrell says it was a lie. He made a stupid decision and decided to come up with that lie. That's and that's what I'm thinking is Cade wasn't in the tent and he just came up with something because I've never watched a broadcast on TV and the starting quarterback is in the tent and they don't talk about it. They live for everything to talk about. Like they live for something to talk about, like breaking news. Joe Cade McNamara just went to the tent. When Naylor got hurt and he was on the sideline with a cast, they showed it. Like Naylor is out of the game. He's got it. He got it. He broke his fingers and he's wearing a cast. And then they showed it. Like, so him saying that, it's just like, bro, I don't know, because they always show an injured player, especially if he's an important player. The starting quarterback, they're not going to show that when we're on defense. So there's plenty of time to show that he's hurt. So that I think that might be cap, bro. Yeah, Brandon Chaney. They're saying Cade was in the tent. That's what they're saying. But That's why I was just saying they never on TV. They always show a player, a star player, going to the tent. The starting quarterback. They always talk about that stuff, and we heard nothing. That's why nobody knew about it until the end of the game when Harbaugh said it. Oh, okay. I did hear that. Somebody said they did mention it on the radio broadcast. It's just so weird to me that they didn't say anything about it on TV. And then like I always try to look up stuff so I can at least be knowledgeable about what I'm trying to talk about with y'all. But it's like, okay, if he was in the tent, there's nothing about his injury. We don't know if it was a concussion, a wrist, nothing. That's one thing I hate about college is because they can just say, "Oh, he was working through something," and then they don't have to tell you anything else about it. They saying Jay Marion says haven't seen Donovan much since he fumbled. They say Donovan didn't even make the trip to MSU. I don't know if he was hurt or if he's working through something. They don't tell you a lot of this stuff. Yeah, we did. We did. RJ Smith says I feel like we wasted too many plays on offense running the ball, especially with Blake going up the middle. Blake is not that guy, like you say. Blake is better used to hit the edge. That's a fact. And they act like they don't know how to use this dude. Like, yes, he's tough, but he's little. Like, he's little. Now, and something that I think a dude like Blake, I think he needs to wear bigger pads. I don't know if they do that anymore. It seems like dudes like to wear those little pads, but as a running back, you need some bigger pads, like Mike Hart. Mike Hart wasn't the biggest dude, but if you go look at his pictures and videos from back then, he had them big pads. He had some big pads, like because you're taking punishment and those pads absorb it. Like Blake he takes some shots and he gets rag dogged sometimes. So it's just not smart. I don't know why they do that. Like it's so obvious what he's good at and what Haskins is good at. Like it's so obvious. Like it don't make no sense. Nathaniel Crane says this game is not on the players. I mean, you could say that. I mean, you could say to me, everybody gets blamed in this one. Like yesterday, I was blaming that JJ play, which that was the straw that ended the game for us. But if you just watch, I can think of so many plays that weren't made that could have been made. The RJ Moden interception in before when Michigan State went up, when they went up four, he could have picked it. It bounced off his hands. Let's see. Cornelius Johnson dropping passes. Blake Corum dropping passes in the first quarter. JJ fumbling. Uh, Cade not hitting his check down and trying to stretch it with that tight end. Uh, Cade throwing the ball to trying to throw it to Cornelius on that pass interference. Sanders still was wide open on an out route, wide open. He ran like a 3-yard out route, wide open, because the Michigan State players ran into each other. So Sanders still was wide open. I'm talking about wide open. He probably would have got like 20, 30 yards. He was that wide open. So like the blame can go all around. But if you want to blame the coach, like I don't pick whatever makes you feel better about the loss. You go with it. You just go with it. Like I ain't got nothing to say. Like whatever makes you sleep better at night. You want to blame that? Go with it. I ain't got no problem with it, bro, because it's just so much blame to go around for being up 16 and losing by 4. Our what do you say? Minroby 23. Our ability to score in the red zone is to blame. We can't. If you want to go with that's huge. That red zone, and this has been a problem all year. It's been a problem all year, and this is why people were saying we need to be throwing in these close games, but we weren't. We weren't throwing. We weren't trying to get Cade comfortable in the red zone to see what he can execute, and maybe because the game ain't practice. So it's two different things. The game's not practice. So yeah, he might do this in practice. In the game, it's different. So, but we still don't know what he can do in the red zone. They don't even try it. I don't know what was up with Cornelius, bro, yesterday. I don't know if it's because Anthony was balling out and getting all those catches but when they tried to go to him in the fourth, it's like dude wasn't even trying to catch the ball. Like usually if a ball hits you right here, like it's hard not to catch that because it's in your breadbasket. But like the one pass he came back for and it just goes straight through. Like, are you kidding me? And then they throw him a little 3 or 4 yard pass for the first down, and it does the same thing. Like he wasn't trying to catch it. Like he looked like they picked him up off the street and were like, okay, we're gonna go to you this play. Turned around, bloop, bloop, like, bro, what happened to you? Okay, we're gonna throw it to you again. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Like, and my thing is, uh, this is this is just me. This is what I believe. When a player does certain things, I'm not running plays for you no more unless I have to. And we've got plenty of receivers, so you don't have to run plays for Cornelius after he dropped the one pass that was crucial. Then he drops another one that's crucial. Why are you running another fourth down for him? Even if it was, let's say Michigan State doesn't grab him. I'm not sure he would have caught it if they didn't grab him. Ball probably would have bounced off his hands. That's just how I like when I watch a game and I see players doing certain stuff like Anthony. They throw him that fade ball on the sideline. He catches it. His foot is just slightly out of bounds, but he makes a spectacular catch. I'm going to you all game. I can trust you. Even Sandra Steele was going down low and making nice catches. I can go to you. I see you, me and you, we on the same page. We trying to win. Cornelius, no. You a decoy. You a decoy the rest of the game. You will not get any more passes. You got to be super wide open for me to throw you the ball. No, I will not be throwing your way. That's just how I am. Like I'm not running. I'm definitely not running a play for you. Why? You've get big games. You go with the players that have gotten you that have played well all game. That's what you do. You ride the players that got you to where you're at in the game. So I'm going to Andrew Anthony. I'm going to Eric All. I think Eric All might have got hurt. I'll go to Shoemaker. I trust him, or even Sanders still because he was going down low, making NFL kind of catches. Like, so I'm going with the players that are they're locked in. Cornelius wasn't locked in, so I don't know why they was like. I don't know what was up with dude. Hey, Nathaniel Caden says Jim Harbaugh is not a college coach and it shows. That's a fact. He struggles with that. He struggles with still having all that NFL mindset. In it's a different. The game is played different. Just like the hash marks. Like the hash marks. Okay, if you run a play to the left, all the way to the left, the ball is on the far left hash. You've got way more yardage over here. Like the NFL hash marks are small. That's where they place the ball. The NFL hash marks are small. So like the wide side of the field, it's not super wide. In college, it's super wide. So like certain things like that, you can exploit teams because you'll have so much room over here. Like if you run a reverse or something, there'll be so much yardage over there. Like it's so much extra yardage to cover because you're on the wide side. I like things like that. I feel like we don't exploit things like that with like with like Blake. Like we got all this side of the field that's they're gonna have to cover. I run a stretch play or something to Blake so he can try to use his speed and get to the corner. Things like that. I feel like we don't do that at all. Like notice how big the hash marks are and the advantage it gives you in college. Because in the NFL, it's not an advantage. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat, Boogie Board, Sean. He says, I'm glad you brought that catch from Andrell up, even though it was out of bounds. I like it because he went up and got it instead of waiting for it. Yeah. The that was a great catch. The defense just played him well and had him pinned on to the sideline, but he still almost got that foot down, going up, getting it. Like that's who they should have been running plays for late. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat, Sam. I am. Yeah, that's who they should have been running plays for late. Cornelius did nothing in that game. Like he gave you nothing pretty much in that game. I'm not. He might have had a catch. I don't think he did, but he gave you nothing. Ain't no point of running plays for somebody that's giving you nothing. If he was giving you something, he would have some catches. Fourth quarter, trying to make a last minute drive. You want to call plays for the dudes that have gotten you to to be able to make a last second drive to win it. I'm not calling plays for somebody that just is dropping passes. Like that's just not smart. I don't know what happened to Baldwin, bro. Did he even play yesterday? He might be hurt or something. And that's probably why Antrell was playing. I think Baldwin was probably hurt because he's normally the one that starts since Roman Wilson is out. I think Baldwin might be hurt too, and that's why Anthony got the start. But I don't know for sure. They don't tell us anything barely on who's hurt or not. So you have to really research and try to really do your homework to find out. Ronnie Virgil says Cornelius went to a private high school in suburban Connecticut. What do you expect? I expect him to play to make a catch because he made him against Wisconsin, and Wisconsin's got a better defense than Michigan State. So I expect him to make those catches, bro. Cornelius ain't garbage. He's not a garbage player. I've never seen him drop those passes that he dropped yesterday. Not like that. I've never seen him do that. Like he's not a bad player at all. Yeah, Eric Brian says Eric all needs looks in the red zone. He's sure-handed and such a huge body target. Now that's facts. That's facts. I wish I could pin that up there, bro, because that's facts. Like Eric All is starting to live up to Harbaugh saying he could be the best tight end at Michigan. He's starting to live up to that. Like he's getting real sure-handed, and I'm not saying he is, but he's starting to remind me of Jake Butt. The way he's sure-handed like that. He's starting to remind me of that, like that consistency. Now, it's just about getting better every year. Was it Kenneth Walker the third? I lived in Memphis. He played in Memphis. Memphis is full of talent. Memphis is full of talent. Like we actually got a DB that's coming, and he's nasty. He plays in Germantown in Memphis, and his name is Cody Jones. He's a beast. This dude can play corner safety, or and he plays running back. And the Michigan coaches told him he can play corner or safety, whichever one he wants. So we got some more talent coming in. Nah, he's not at a prep school. Germantown is just a high school. It's just a regular high school. But look him up, Cody Jones. He's a beast. He's a beast. I think he's battling injuries somewhat this year, but he's a beast. Yeah, Sean Patrick. They're saying Cade was in the tent. So JJ had to be out there. But that's why I wouldn't have wanted him out there. I just don't understand why he was trying to pull that ball out. If it wasn't a read, which I get that it wasn't a read because he ran the bootleg fake like the opposite way, but why was he trying to pull that ball out? Bro, it's just a handoff. Give it to him. Like, why are you still holding on, slightly pulling it? I just don't get it. Like for the explanation on that, I need to hear from Blake and JJ, like and not coach talk, just trying to I blame myself, and then Blake saying I blame myself, and then JJ I blame myself. Like I need to actually hear what happened. And we might not ever hear exactly what happened on that play. I mean, this is facts, and this is what it all comes down to, bro. We can talk about hardball, we can talk about the coaches, we can talk about this, we can talk about that, but this is what it comes down to. And I'm gonna get Streamyard on here so I can put y'all comments, pin them up here. But Paul McKenna says big time players make big time plays in big time games. That's what it that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So defense gets us the ball back. Cade has the chance to win it. He got greedy instead of taking a check down. And there's a minute and some left in the game. You got enough time, bro. You can still hit the check down. You got enough time. You can still hit check down. Mistake. RJ Moden, the pick. Could have picked it. Big time play. 4th and 1. Reed, even Thorne, big time throw. Reed, big time catch. Dax Hill. That's the dude. You let him beat you. I don't care if it was by a yard. He beat you, and the quarterback made a great throw. So we had him 4th and 1. You got your best corner or your best cover guy on their best player, and he beats him. This is I could go through the whole game in this play. Big time players make big time plays. That's why I hate for Ajabo and Aiden, because them dudes was making plays. In the past game, they're DNs, they're ends. So that's their most important job, is when they pass to make them make a mistake, and they was doing it. John Gout says Cade's not good enough. Played his heart out though, and you might be right, because as much as I blame JJ for turning the tide in the game, Cade had 2 drives. 2 drives. He had the one drive. I don't know what we ran on fourth that time. I'm not sure what it was, but didn't get it. Defense gets us the ball back. So defense did its job. got you the ball back for another shot. Couldn't get it done. Nathaniel says, I don't care what players we get. If Jim's still coach, they're not going to be great. And this is the problem, because this is the problem as I see it right now. Harbaugh is kind of what he is. He's just a conservative minded coach. And he's getting some good recruits. Like Vincent Gray should be gone after this year, hopefully. Brad Hawkins will be gone. Yeah, he's made some plays. He's got some senior leadership, but you're getting a higher caliber of player that should be replacing him in Vincent Gray, like a Cody Jones, and these dudes, these younger dudes that they're getting now. They're better athletes, and they're just better type of players. Like Brad Hawkins was a DB that they switched like junior year to play safety. So like Brad, Vincent Gray, Jamon Green, you see he's not playing much now. Like you getting these dudes, these younger dudes that are faster and can make plays better, getting in. You getting like you got JJ the future. Let's hope he is. You got Donovan Edwards. Like the cupboard's not bare. The cupboard's not bare at all. So it's like hard. Okay, if you change coaches right now, which they're not gonna fire this dude. Like I'm 99% sure they're not gonna fire Harbaugh. So I don't want to waste my breath just talking about it. They want to win. They want to win 9, 10 games. They're fine with that. 11. If they win 11 games, they might give this dude a bonus or something. But with that being said, it's just like I don't see them firing him because they don't expect to win every game. Now I'm sure they want us to beat our rivals, but if we finish the season, let's say we finish the season 11-2 or 10-3, they're gonna be straight. Like, okay, he's got us back going. He's got us back winning 10 games. That's fine. Good job, Jim. Now we just need you to beat Michigan State and Ohio State, but you're doing a pretty good job. That's just what I see. That's just from what we've seen, that's what I expect. Is ZT High says, is Mel Tucker changing MSU culture the way Michigan thought Harbaugh would? I mean, Michigan State really didn't have a culture problem that bad to me. I mean, yeah, D'Antoni, he wasn't winning championships, but let's not forget, Mark took them they went to the playoff. They went to the playoff with him, so their culture wasn't really bad. It's just they had some stuff that was going on, and then they had to get rid of him. He might have been there too long. So their culture and like their program wasn't in shambles. I won't say. I'm not gonna say they were in shambles like we were. We were kind of in shambles. We had Rich Rod for what 3 years or something. Then we had Hulk for like what 4. So we had like 7, 8 years of that. So they weren't really in shambles. For me, Mark D'Antoni to Mel Tucker is like, it's like you had Lloyd Carr. It's like Lloyd Carr, and then you hire Mel Tucker. So just think if we got Jim Harbaugh right after Lloyd Carr. You're not gonna get that much of a drop off to me. Like it's more because that kind of looked like a maybe he's a little more aggressive, Mel Tucker, but that looked like a Mark D'Antoni coach team. That same hard nosed grit, we not gonna quit. He's a little more aggressive and might have maybe some better players, but he looked about the same. Is this coaching style and the aggressiveness and the toughness that he instills look just like Mark D'Antoni. Yeah, Michigan makes so much money that they don't care. They don't care about it, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem, y'all. So it just is what it is. But I could say a bunch of coaching. We could name guys until we blew in the face, but if they're not gonna fire him, we just wasting our breath. We just got to hope that he. The thing I hate about Harbaugh is he's just so slow to realize how the game has changed. Like he's so slow. Like Don Brown. Don Brown should have been fired 3 years ago or something. But he's just slow to realize that this isn't what it needs to be. Just like the red zone. We might have red zone problems next year too. It'll take him to 2023 to realize we have a problem in the red zone and we need to be fixed. Like he's just so slow to realize problems. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Hopefully, Mel Tucker does go to LSU. Hopefully, he does. Let's see. You might say hold Harbaugh's check until he can beat a rival. Yeah, and this is a good one. This is a good one. JG 2801 says the same people projection Michigan to lose 3 or 4 games are calling for Jim's head after losing to MSU on the road. Like who the else were you expected to lose to? I get that it's a rivalry game, but come on. Yeah, and that's the more stable uh uh take on it. Like, yeah, we lost to Michigan State, but we're 7-1. We were up 16 at Michigan State, which is a give and a take. Like, okay, you're good enough to get up 16, but you were boneheaded enough to lose a 16-point lead. So it's the give and the take of it. Like, but some people they're just gonna talk or whatever. Like, but it's Harbaugh's had a trend of losing to our rivals. That's the problem. See, if he consistently had, like, if he had a better record against, like, if he beat Ohio State, if he beat Michigan State more, like, what was it? That first year when he let them, when the punter, that should have been a Michigan win. See, he lost that game. That put him behind the 8 ball. Like, that should have been a Michigan win. But you let them win that game. Things like that catch up to you, you know, because that counts on your record, regardless of how good you played. If you lose the game, it goes on your record like, okay, you just lost. It don't matter how you lost, you lost. Ronnie Virgil says, unpopular opinion, but Dax gets beat deep a lot too. Honestly, I don't like that super tight coverage they have him playing sometimes. I just don't like it. because he does get beat deep sometimes. So he plays that real tight coverage sometimes. Like, bro, back up 4 yards. Just back up a little bit. Back up 2, 3 yards. So now those times you were getting beat, you're going to be in perfect position now because they're only beating you by a yard. When Dax gets beat, he's not getting beat by a lot of yards. He's getting beat like by 1, maybe 2 yards. Bro, just back up a little bit. Just back up. Oh yeah. Those tight end flat plays or tight end out routes, whatever, I don't know what it is, but the tight end open in with nobody around him, picking up like 15, catching it for 8 yards and picking up like 7, 8 more with nobody around him. Yeah. Yep. I mean the thing from yesterday was the thing about yesterday, it was just how we lost. We were up 16. You were up 16 points. And my nephew came in there and when it was 30-14, and he was like, "Oh, y'all up?" Because he's not a fan of Michigan. He's like, "Oh, y'all up?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "Y'all better not blow it." And I was like, "Bro, if we blow this game, I might be in here crying." And right after, once he went in there, it got once he went back in his room, it got bad from then on. From then on, it got bad. He might be the one to blame. He might have jinxed us. It might be on him. King Williams says Dak should be a deep safety and patrol in the middle of the field and stay can take him. That's how I would use him, bro. With that type of speed, I'm gonna let him roam the field. Like I'm gonna let him roam the field. That's how I was using, bro. That's how I think too. Paul McKinney says opinion on Michigan players celebrating a bit too much early in the game. That's just what it is now, bro. It's that's just part of the game now. When the defense gets a turnover, whether it's a turnover chain or Jack, they got a slot machine in Vegas, UNLV, they got a slot machine. That's just how the game is now. So when Michigan doesn't do a turnover chain or whatever, so when they get a turnover, they just take a team picture on the sideline. That's just how the game is now. So it's not about getting too up or down. It's because the defense gets to sit down. You know, they if they just got a turnover, they get to sit down and chill. That's just how the game is now. So when they get a turnover, they're gonna celebrate it. You know. So I don't think that was them getting too hype or nothing. It's just it is what it is. Honestly, they just weren't prepared to stop to stop Kenneth Walker. If I'm just being real, they weren't really prepared to stop him. Because when they passed, they didn't have much success passing the ball. Between 2 picks, between 2 fumbles, should have been a fumble touchdown. Like our pass rush and our pass defense held it down for the most part. It was just every time this dude had like 190 yards on like 20, 22, 23 carries. Are you kidding me? What is that, like 15 yards a carry? Like, I gotta look this up. Because that's just unbelievable. Like, this dude had 195 TDs. 8.6 yards a carry. 23 carries, 197 yards, 5 TDs. That's unbelievable. So our pass defense was fine. Like our pass defense for the most held it down. It's just you let this dude destroy you. He destroyed us. 8 yards a carry, 5 TDs. It's just ridiculous. So we just weren't prepared to stop him. It looks like they focused more on trying to stop Naylor, Reed, when, let's be honest, our pass rush probably could have helped stop that. But we should have had more dudes in the box trying to stop Kenneth Walker because they go as Kenneth Walker goes. He sets the tempo for them. When he doesn't have a good game, they struggle. But they were probably thinking about last year of how Rocky Lombardi and Reed and them boys torched us, but not understanding, yeah, they can still torch us deep. They still could torch us deep, but they have a difference maker at running back. He's the engine for their team. I missed that super chat, bro. My bad. I don't know. It just disappeared. Oh, there you go. Boogie Board Sean says, appreciate the $4.99 super chat, bro. He says Hill should be at free safety. Hawkins should be at strong safety. Hawkins is too good of a tackler to be dropping back. That's a fact. And Hill should be roaming. That's a fact, bro. I'd rather have Brad Hawkins in the box and Dax roaming. But yesterday they were playing too deep. They were playing too deep with RJ and I guess RJ and Brad Hawkins, I guess. John Gelt says Walker is very, very good, fast cuts. He's nasty. Some of those cuts he was doing and some of that stuff he was doing was nasty. It was nasty. I can't even front. Yeah, they were. Big House Production says our linebackers were out of position most of the game, and they were. That's a fact. Omar Hero says, why do we always lose to a superhuman performance? I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's the question. Error, I don't know how to say your name. I'm just gonna say the last one. Ferber says the Molden drop kind of remind me of Metellus drop versus OSU. If he picks that ball, bro, that's pretty much ball game. That's when we were up 3 still, and he picks that ball. We can milk the clock, which Harbaugh's going to try to do, and it just changes. It just changes the momentum of the game because they might not be able to run Walker like they want to because they didn't drive the field. If there's not that much time left, you're not going to want to risk running him because you're just going to eat up too much time. So that's when we do what we do best. Ojabo and Aiden pinning their ears back, even if we just kicked a field goal, which would have been, I know field goals get you beat, but milking the clock and not giving them much time, and they would have had to have trusted, they would have had to use Thorne more than Walker at that point. But yeah, you're right. It's big players, and he's not a big player, but if you're starting, you got to make plays. That's the name of the game, making plays. You make a play. Somebody make a play. If you own the field, make a play. It's your job to make a play. And he dropped that ball. It was in his hands. It was in his hands. Like Reed went like this, but he didn't really affect it. He just dropped it. Yeah. Complete Thought says one TD Walker had. Our defense wasn't even set. I don't give that score. In my mind, that was a busted play. Dude was just nasty, bro. That the first touchdown, like he's in the pile, like he's behind the line, and he just makes a cut, like, oh, okay. And it just opens up beautifully for him. Like he sees the hole over there. He's over here behind there, kind of just, I don't know. Dude is nasty. Like, I'm just being real. Any news on Eric All? I don't have any news on injuries. You know how Harbaugh and them do it. You really have to do your homework and just really look to find the injuries if they tell you, because they'll just not tell you. You usually have to get it from somebody tweeting it, like the Roman Wilson injury. Somebody tweeted or something that he was hurt in practice. Like, if not, Harbaugh and them wasn't gonna tell you. They don't tell you stuff in college. They don't have to tell you in college, so they just use it to their advantage. And half the time, it's not even an advantage. Like 99% of the time, it's not even an advantage. They just do it just cause. Let's see. Neil Williams says can't really pin the JJ fumble on Harbaugh, because I don't pin it on Harbaugh. If Cade was in the tent, I don't pin it on Harbaugh. I pin it on JJ. He ain't getting out of this. I'm still blaming JJ, because for some reason it was a run called and he decided to half pull it out. So I'm blaming JJ. John Galt said Michigan is not fine. 20 years zip mediocrity, losing the rivals. Rob Schwartz says, and Corum seemed off his game. And I'm gonna I'm getting ready to wrap this up. So with and Corum seemed off this game. This is our only hope, and this is for the future. This ain't really this year, or it could be this year too. All these players use this game as motivation for the rest of the season. What did Cade say last year when he won that game? What if we win on out? What if we win the whole thing? What if we win on out? That's the type of mentality you need to have from here on out. It's us against the world. Let's win on out. Blake, and for the future, JJ, Corum, Cornelius, these dudes that got in but didn't made some crucial mistakes. This ain't the last time you're gonna play Michigan State if you stay at Michigan. So use it as motivation to we made mistakes in a game that could have kept us undefeated. You use it as motivation. You use it as motivation. You work on your weaknesses and try to be better. You get better. Corum, you made a mistake. You dropped passes. You looking. Do better. JJ, your ball security, you need to get in the weight room. Find a way to get better. Find a way to get better for the future. This loss should eat JJ alive. Like this loss should take JJ up a notch. Honestly, you get in for 5 plays in a game, you fumble twice, and you have the crucial fumble, and you the heir apparent. Oh, this should take you up a notch on everything that you love about football, because you let down you made a mistake and you let down dudes that are putting in the work. A dude like Aiden or a Jabo is putting in the work. Cade, who got us the lead. Now he has to fight back because you made a mistake and you the backup. Anthony, a dude from East Lansing. You made a mistake in all that work that they put in. You helped lose a game and you ain't played nothing but 5-6 plays in the game. But you the heir apparent. So I mean, what else can say? That should be motivation for you to be the best quarterback ever. To get that undefeated season that you helped take away. That's just how I look at it. You use everything as motivation. Everything is motivation. That's the one thing I'll give Don Brown. That motivation speech, your girlfriend ain't talking to you. Use it as motivation. Oh, you don't like your job. Use it as motivation. All that stuff is, that's a great speech because it's true. Anything that's going wrong in your life, when you get on that field, you can use it to your advantage. All that hurt, all that pain, all that anger, you can put that onto somebody else and you punish them physically because your life ain't going good. And that's the beautiful thing about football. Yeah, but I'm about to get off of here, y'all. I'm just it is what it is, bro. We gonna have to learn to live with that loss because it ain't going nowhere. But I appreciate all the super chats, all the comments. If I didn't get to you, I'm sorry. I was trying to read them as quickly as I can, but it moves so fast. I'm gonna download or get a subscription to StreamYard so I can pin y'all comments so we can see them better. And I appreciate you moderating, Mal. Appreciate that, bro. But I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I appreciate the love. All y'all be well. Watch the game. Enjoy it. Have a good night. And as always, go blue.